In this video, I need to create a carousel for Instagram, so I'm going to be showing you the steps that I'm going to go through using DesignGen to actually do that. I have this product that I am currently running an offer for, so I want to create a little carousel that kind of gives people who are looking for more information on that offer more information on the shirt. So like if I can we'll start with copying this information here. And then I am going to go to the beta version of DesignGen. That's going to be found at beta.trydesigngen.com. So once you're logged in to the app, you're going to be brought to the dashboard, and then you can go into Creative Studio. That's the studio that you're going to want to interface whenever you're creating any ads, any stuff for your social media, any stuff that you're going to want to put in front of customers rather than like actual t-shirt designs, wanting to work with like your t-shirt designs or vectorizing stuff like that. Creative Studio is not for that. It's going to be meant for the social media, the ads, that kind of a thing. So here we are. If you are familiar with DesignGen, probably going to feel right at home. And then let's get started. I'm going to just start by pasting in some information from the actual product page. So I'll copy in the product brief, and then and what other information do I think would be good? I'll just copy all of that. And then as for the actual offer, I'll go down and just give it this information right here. Just trying to give it as much information as I can to set it up for success. So I just said I wanted all of that, and I just pasted it. I didn't even really tell it what I wanted. That might be a mistake on my part. We'll see what happens here in a second. So if you guys saw that, when I did send that message, I got back a couple of different things while it was actually generating the response. So it looked into my knowledge base that I have over the course of working with DesignGen and working with the actual assistant here. So that's the nice thing about this, is you're not having to repeat yourself. You're not having to tell it things about your business, things about your brand, whatever it is. Up here at the top, I have my brand already selected. I did create this beforehand in the brand studio. So that's something that you're definitely going to want to do if you haven't already done that. Let me know in the comments section if you guys want to see a video about that. So right now it's just saying that it's captured the promo tee angle and the grand opening giveaway positioning. So it's saying that this is enough for a strong product brief, but it's not generating anything yet. It's asking if I want to turn it into a carousel or a single product ad next. So again, this already knows me a little bit from the knowledge that I've built up through working with DesignGen. So I am just going to go ahead and confirm. I want this as a carousel, and it will go ahead now and take all of that information that I have just sent it and actually create the carousel for me. So right here, this is what I was talking about, where it was searching the knowledge base, pulling in any relevant memories. And now, as you guys see here in the creative brief section, we have 8 different actual images that are going to be generated for this Instagram carousel. And each one of them we can click into and actually see the creative goal, see what the DesignGen assistant actually has planned for each of these. And you can even go in and change whatever you want. So if you want this to say a different price, you can make that say whatever you want. Like this actually would be a good thing to actually change. So if I did, actually that's fine because it did say before decoration. But if I wanted to, I could just say $2.89 and change it to whatever I want. That's the nice thing about having the ability to see what it's actually going to generate beforehand, is that you can actually change things before having to commit and before actually seeing what the AI is going to generate for you. So this looks pretty good to me so far. I do think I want to maybe get some actual reference shots of the t-shirts. So I'll get the black t-shirt. I'll just save this to my computer. And what other shirts are common? The charcoal is a pretty common one. And what else? We'll get a cherry red. That sounds good. And maybe the blue for the summer, the Carolina blue. So I'll just save those 4 images. And then I'm going to come over back into the DesignGen tab and add those to the actual reference images. So I'm going to select each one from my computer. Just like that. And that's going to actually upload all 4 of those reference images to use in the generation itself. And then while I'm here, I'm going to also change the model to UltraMax. We really do recommend definitely using UltraMax whenever it comes to using stuff for your social media. having the ability to actually generate perfect text every single time without having to look through it with a fine-tooth comb, very important and an underrated skill, if I must say. So I'm going to actually also, well, I don't know. I was going to say that I was going to turn on the 9x16 so that I could get some story variants as well. If you did want to, this would be a good way to kind of utilize the same different prompt setup that you have and get some story concepts out of it as well. But like, as you guys can see, it's going to be super easy to get some different ones and actually make each one, the feed and the story posts, slightly different. They don't have to be the same because it's so easy to do this stuff now. It puts a lot more stuff like that on the table. So before you might have just been a little lazy, and rather than doing two different ones that for your feed, for your stories, you would just do them as the same. But again, it's super easy to do this now, so we can definitely get two different ones, slightly different at least, for the story and for the feed variants. And I just clicked generate all, and as you guys can see, it is going through, queuing up all of those generations. I am on the pro plan, so that means that all of my generations are going to start up immediately. I'm not having to wait for them to actually queue up, generate one by one, anything like that. All 8 of the generations are started. They're going, they're starting, they're going, they're already started, and they're generating our actual carousel concepts right now. And they're not even concepts. These are going to be completely ready to post. You're not going to have to worry about anything where you have to then do some extra work on the images, cropping out things, putting your logo, anything like that. As you guys will see here in a second, I already have all of that information in my brand library for the AMS brand that you guys saw me select up here. So DesignGen, they already know all of that good stuff about my brand. They know my logo, my colors, everything to do with that. So rather than having to keep on repeating everything, I can just do what you guys saw, grab a couple of snippets of text from my website, paste it in there, and then I'm going to have this carousel ready to go. So they're coming back already. We're starting to see a few of them coming back and actually getting generated. So these look really good so far. I think that these are all going to be winners. Let's see what these last 4 come back with though. There we go, and you can see that starts at 289. It did take our text input into account, and there we go. That's all 8 of the actual images that we just requested, and so far I've only been filming this video for 9 minutes total, so that's probably about less than 4 or 5 minutes to get each of these done. And now we can actually open them up and go through. So this is going to be slide number 8. Let me actually start from the beginning. I think that would be a little bit better. So this was actually the beginning. I'm going to go into the all session. So if you were on Instagram, imagine yourself going through each of these different options, like scrolling through and clicking next to go through the carousel. I think that these are really good. They're a little like basic, to be quite honest. I think that they're a little lame in that sense. Let's actually go ahead and try one more thing. So all I ended up saying was these are a little basic. Is there anything that we can do to really take them to the next level and make people stop scrolling? So let's see what it's able to cook up from that, and hopefully we can get something that's just a little bit better. But overall, I don't know if this is necessarily a bad thing. I think that a lot of the problems that we see with AI generated designs is that they have so much going on, is that they are just clearly AI. They always have like what is essentially this, where it just lists everything that you basically tell it in a list on the actual image itself. So I think that there's a lot of room for good simplistic designs, but that isn't to say that's going to be for everybody. If you do want something a little bit, I am looking to use this as a way to help users on our Instagram who might have heard about our offer for 100 t-shirts, $479, full color, full front image. And this is the t-shirt that they get with that offer. So I want to offer them more insight if they're looking for more information to make a decision, and help try and push them to make that decision by offering that information and insight from the product that they're going to be getting on the actual offer. And maybe even use this as an opportunity to educate and inform, to try and push them into a higher upsell t-shirt like the Gildan Soft Style perhaps. That's what I'm saying, guys. You just literally tell it what you're looking for, and it will try and read your mind, read between the lines of what you're saying, and get you to that goal. So I just said that, and let's go ahead and give it another shot and see what we can get back from it. It's saying the best approach is going to be leading with the offer, educating them, building trust, and ending with a clear decision path. I do agree with all of that. Let's open up the settings, and I'm just going to turn off the 9x16 option. I'm going to keep it on UltraMax and keep everything else the same. Let's start these guys up and generate those and start getting the new outputs now. So as you guys can see, those are starting up down here at the bottom under a new batch. The nice thing about working in DesignGen is you can continue working in that same chat. If you're working on a campaign concept, you're working on like an ad, whatever it is, and you want to create some different like batches of content, but it's all generally the same, you can continue doing that. And then whenever you want to download like a carousel for Monday, a carousel for Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, you can have those all separated as different batches, and then you can come down here and download them as that batch so that you only get that 8 or that 4, whatever it is. And you can even get a little bit more granular where you can go in and download the actual aspect ratios of that batch. So this is perfect if you're looking to kind of have everything nice and organized for your stories, for your feed, for your YouTube posts, whatever it is. For some reason, it seems like there is just not a common aspect ratio between the platforms. Some of them use 4:5, some of them use 1:1, some of them use 5:2. It's a whole mess. So rather than we try and just make it easy for you. So looking at the ones coming back, they're super fast, guys. Like, it doesn't take long to do this. That's what I'm saying when I was talking about the different variations for the 9x16. This stuff doesn't take very long. And yeah, man, these look way better from the ones that we initially got. It definitely just follows more of a story. It would hopefully be the image to stop you from scrolling on your feed, and then you would continue scrolling through the actual carousel. You see this, and then you continue going through them to try and just learn more information about the teas. It's literally telling you everything that I was saying, everything that we copy and pasted, and kind of trying to just explain more about the offer. Does that upsell that we were talking about, and through each of the different options you can see that our logo is carried through and put perfectly in the corner. This one does kind of suck. Sometimes the models just do that. They put the background behind your logo depending on the actual color of the background itself on the image. Something to just kind of work with that, regenerate it. On this one here, if you do come and hover over it, you see the little like recycle icon, and then you can actually say what you want changed. I just said make the logo in the corner white and no background. So I'll regenerate that one, and that will actually only regenerate that specific concept for me. It's not going to do the entire batch. And that's a really nice thing as well. If you guys do ever need some simple edits, anything that you want to change about it, editing it super quickly like that, very good. And there we go. As you guys can see, we got that generation back now with the white logo this time, so it doesn't have that big background behind it. And this batch looks ready to go. It does give you the option to keep the other one if you perhaps like that one a little bit more after you got the edit back. So you could choose to keep, replace, or discard it. We'll keep that one as replace. That's good to go. And then you come up here and click the download batch option. So you can do it as a zip file. This is super easy if you are on macOS. You just have to click the zip file. It'll unzip it, extract all of the files, and you're good to go. But if you don't want to even deal with that, just do the download batch files. That'll download each of the images for you in series. So you can click like save, 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 save for each one of them as they are all done and ready for you to download. So I'll just do the download as a batch zip file. That'll be good for me. And get these unpacked. So on macOS, like I was saying, they make it super easy. And then you have the folders for each of the different aspect ratios. So if we did do this for the 9x16, the story versions as their own separate aspects in this different batch, we would have the different folders for each. So we would have the folder for the 4x5 and the folder for the 9x16 right here, making it super easy for us to just go click this, select all of them. They are even labeled and in the order that you need to post them in, especially if you're doing stuff like carousels on Instagram. Making sure that the order of each image is important, and if you don't know them, then you have to go through and look at each image, remember what order they all go into. And the whole point of this is to make this easier and faster, right? So that doesn't really jive with what we're looking to do. Trying to make it as easy as possible, and hopefully this gets you guys closer. Each of the folders corresponds to the given aspect ratios that you generated. So like I was saying, you could literally just select all of these, post them to your Instagram, and get all of them ready to queue up, ready to post, scheduled, whatever you're going to end up doing with them. And these are going to perform, guys. I really think that this is something that a lot of people are skipping and missing out on. They think that just because it's an AI generated image that it has to look like all of the other ChatGPT designs out there. But this is proof right here that it doesn't, and it's all in the eyes of the beholder. Get out there, guys. Let me know in the comment section what we can do to make this better for you, to make it work better for your workflow. This is something that is an actively evolving process. We're still working on features. We're still adding new things to it, and I haven't even covered half of it. So let me know in the comment section what you guys want to see more of. I got to get back to printing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.